Hi, this is David Henry Young. I want to read a short poem, make a comment. It's called Bluebirds. God makes me aware of things I call little, the feeling of someone's presence, their hardness or pain, their interest and attention. When you're given light, what do you see? If I see two bluebirds cutting across my field of vision, the backs of their wings hilariously carried in flight, I smile wildly in the moment and thank God for letting me see, letting me remember now and see again and again. I wrote this in July of 1998. And I was actually remembering what I just wrote about, that had occurred probably about 1980. We had moved to New Jersey from Massachusetts and heard about this church where they were speaking in tongues. As though, we were already doing all that kind of a thing. This particular book was a book about speaking in tongues called They Speak with Other Tongues. I think that was the name of it, by a newspaper man, a reporter of some kind called John Sherrill. Anyways, he wanted to investigate this speaking in tongues, seemingly like it was a phenomenon. He probably didn't consult the Bible at that point. But anyway, in the back of this particular little book, he made mention of a church in New Jersey called Princeton Fellowship Church. And down there for maybe a month or two, and I started going to this church. It was very unevangelistic. Incredible, wonderful, great teaching. There was a ministry at that time out of Florida called New Wine Ministries. Derek Prince, Don Basham, and three others. I can't think of their names right now. I've met a few of them. Anyway, we were living in an old farmhouse. It was in the family. And these kinds of homes, these kinds of environments, agricultural things, completely foreign to me. My dad worked in a shipyard in a fairly large city south of Boston, Quincy, Massachusetts. Anyway, I had gone to sleep, and the next thing I know, I see this hillside with the most green I've ever seen in my life. And I started walking toward it, and it was a small hill. I started negotiating the hill, walking up the hill. I was aware that the grass blades were aware that my footfalls were, as I stepped, were crushing them, but they were, in my spirit, I knew that they were lovingly receiving my weight. And I knew that there was an angel next to me. I didn't see him, but I knew he was there. And we're walking, I'm walking up this first hill, and then in the same kind of grass, and I keep walking up and then over into another hill, and all of a sudden I start hearing a song way in the distance, and I looked into the distance and I saw the city. I believe it was New Jerusalem. I didn't know that at the time. It was way in the distance, but I could see it as clear, but I knew it was far away. And the spires were just, I'm not an architectural guy. It's just, they were white and silver tipped and beautiful, and the bluest of blue in the sky, and just and out of seemingly like these spires up and out of the city, enormous city. It's just I saw like in Catholic school when we were young. You're taking music lessons from the nuns, and Sister Martha Mary would, put the 5 pieces of chalk in this device and then make the lines of score, of music score lines, and then teach us a little bit about music. I am not musical except that I love to sing and dance, but I don't play instruments other than bang things together. And but I saw the song. The 5 lines were alive, and they were floating in a very directed, strong way, and I could see a way, and it's coming closer and closer, and I could hear the song, I could hear what they were singing, and they were singing in rounds, and there had to be millions of voices. I've never heard anything like it. It's beautiful, and the song came right into me, inside me, in my spirit. In my body, everything, and then I woke up, and I realized, and as I woke up, I remember looking from the bottom hill that I had started walking up, and I saw these 2 flames, huge flames on either side of the bottom of the hill, and it was like fire I've never seen before like that. I didn't even hear it. And then that just faded quickly, and I woke up, all in a moment, and I realized that I must have been in heaven. I got the song, and I ran downstairs, and it's a Sunday morning, and I ran downstairs. It's early, and I looked for the pencil, a pen. And got a pen, and I grabbed an envelope, and I flipped it over, and I made the 5 lines, and I started, because I'm singing the song. And as I sing, I'm going up and down like the white ball we'd had, the little bouncing ball when we learned songs, and when we were elementary age, on Saturday mornings down at the local theater in Wollaston, and follow the bouncing ball and learn the song, and zippity doo dah, the kind of thing. And but I'm singing this song. You are my shepherd and my king, Lord, master, everything. We are the sheep of your pasture, where in safety we adore you. Jesus, we offer song and praise. Teach our hearts to love your ways. Oh, lead us everywhere. Oh, lead us in our prayer. Actually, it was, oh, lead us in our prayer. Oh, lead us everywhere. You are our shepherd and our king. And it just was in rounds. And I just kept singing and singing and singing it. And singing it and writing it down and make little balls, in the 5 lines, and and then I make a phone call to the first person I met in the church, happened to be the music minister, and I called him on the phone, and he wasn't in, and his wife said, "Oh, he'll be back at 1:00," and I explained to her quickly what had happened. She said, "Well, just keep singing the song, write it down, David, and he'll give you a call." And so, a few hours later, he calls me, and I told him what happened, and he said, "Come on over." So he lived on Norway Street in Trenton, and I was in Hamilton Township, which borders Trenton, New Jersey. And I went over to Joel's house, Joel Davis. He's like Ted Sanquist, a very prolific songwriter. Every day I get 1 or 2 songs, just complete, download, and that's about as far as away from me as learning to speak Latin fluently, which I understand, but I can't do that. And it's like, and so he sang the song. So I sang it to him, and he's got the piano in the house, and he's singing it again, and he's making the notations, and he's writing it down, and then he said, "Well, I said it's in rounds, right? I mean, it didn't stop. It just over and over and over." And he said, "Yeah, we're gonna just throw something in there to kind of stop it." And he said at the end of the song, it goes, we are yours, you are our shepherd and our king, faithful, true, and holy. Amen. Boom. And he goes, wow, we have our first hymn. I said, okay, what's it doing? A hymn and a song? And he's talking music to me. I said, okay, went to church later, and he's getting up there with the guitar and a few other people up there, and a very small community, maybe 80 people, and meeting in a garage. I went, but you would know it's a garage. It's really well done. I mean, they're all physicists and chemists and engineers of one kind or another, all kinds of stuff, and Princeton, and it was basically all the people from Princeton University, Christians and so were coming there, and then there was me, a feed mill quality control supervisor, and another guy was a bus driver. And it's like, and so, he sings, he say, God gave us a hymn. We sang the song twice through completely. All the women would sing, and then all the men would sing. And you know how a song leader can just quickly do that, especially with the people that he's familiar with, and that, they know it. And it's like, wow. And they copyrighted the song. They were going to have an album. It was one of 12 songs. And then that all fell through. But it got copyrighted. I used to get phone calls about people from different parts of the country. Hey, could we sing your song? I said, yeah, go ahead and sing it. And I just wanted to share that because it was all about the Bluebirds. That's what, when I was starting to walk up the first hill, these two bluebirds, the bluest blue I've ever seen in my life. And every time I infrequently now get to see a bluebird, I'm rushed out. I almost have to lie down. And so I just want to thank God that he gives us these things to strengthen us and to bring his reality more deeply into our spirit, flooding into our soul, and live the best way you can in the particular body you have. And then because you're going to get a new one day. So that's all I wanted to say. And I love you. And share this. Please share it. And see you later. Bye-bye.